You're welcome to this webinar, and it's going to be as simple and straightforward as it can be, and I'll try as much as possible to relate, and I hope that everybody is going to relate as much as you all can in this session this afternoon. So straight to the point now. The topic I am going to be talking about is basics for aspiring content creators. Um, I have, okay, I'm going to be sharing I made a little presentation which I would be sharing so as for us to follow. I'm trying to get the document now so that we can move on. All right. Okay. Um, I don't believe we can see the screen. Please, Victor, can you confirm if my screen is showing
Hey,
there?
just a minute. Let me
Can you
confirm
see
that.
my screen?
Okay. Uh, yes, I can see your screen. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we are here, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So everything I'm going to be saying would be on this slide. So pardon me if you're not going to be seeing my video, but it's best you see the materials, the slide that I have to show. All right, so we'll be going straight. I'll be talking on basics for aspiring content creators. And so we'll start off by asking, what is content writing? Yeah, I understand that here we have um, a sect of people who probably who have been writing before, and we also have another set of people who would be writing for the first time. So basically, before we go deep into content writing and the practicals in itself, we need to understand what the basics is. Basically, so what is content writing? Content writing actually refers to all information and experiences that are directed towards an end user or audience. So summary of all that grammar is that whatever you are sharing or whatever impact or communication basically which you as a person wants to relate or convey to someone else, basically that information in itself is content. It's really not about the wonders or the mystery or the gravity of the communication of the language or the image or whatever you are using in communicating. But basically, whatever you're doing, you're relating with people, you're sharing an information and experience directed to an audience. That information in itself is what's called content. Then what is writing? Or we all know that writing is actually the process of using symbols and signs really to communicate thoughts and ideas in a readable form. Then now putting both words together, content and writing, we say that basically what it does is that it aims to provide the speech basically to a business, to an idea or concept generally summarizing what the idea is about and explaining what it offers to potential customers. So as we go on, I believe or I expect that in our hearts, we'll begin to picture a business or an idea, that we intend to communicate with. And our means of communication in this fora is through content writing, basically. Okay, so before I move to the next slide, I'm also aware that a lot of people or a couple of people in this group are joining in to learn how to write content for their own brand. I'm aware that some people are actually here to learn how to write for themselves, not really to make money, so to say. But for you as a brand owner, you really need to learn the basics so as to know how to design your text, which is actually in this form the speech, for your business and your ideas. All right, now I have this quote which says, content is the glue that makes a site sticky. It makes visitors return and keeps them from leaving. So whatever, the funny thing about this is, if now you imagine what a glue does now. So now imagine your content as a glue, and your platform at which you are using to communicate. When you put up a content, the gravity or the interest, the kind of content you put up actually determines how long or how far you're going to retain your client or your customer or whoever it is you are communicating with. So your content is a glue, and it makes your place, so to say now, sticky, and makes people always want to return. Everybody wants to see what you have to offer. Now, I know a lot of us use WhatsApp very well, and we write stuff, we post up and pictures, you know, all of these things that we do. I'm using WhatsApp now, for example. We are going to get a slide where I'm going to talk about sub divisions of content in itself. So WhatsApp basically is like a very primary basic platform at which many people, can relate, can share information with. So people see your post on WhatsApp and they'll be wondering that, okay, so what do we have here? Now, ironically, realized that a couple of people have been chatted me privately telling me that the reason why they actually stay on WhatsApp is actually to see status here. So now the post I tried
Sorry,
to.
Mr. Sherry, sorry to cut you in. There's a request on the chat room that you should kindly speak up. So we just increase the volume a bit, so that
Oh, okay.
everyone can hear you. Sorry to cut you.
All, all right. Sorry. Thank
Great.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
for that feedback. Is it better now?
Yes, better now. Better.
Okay. Okay. I think I would also have to shovel from my screen sharing to the application so that I can see. All right. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So like I was saying, um, okay, good. So I was saying that there are several platforms actually by which we can actually share our content, and WhatsApp is one of the easiest way, as it's where, because a lot of people want to see what people post online, I mean on their status. So if you have a very good content that you post on your status and people always want to see, you've already created something that excites people, that people always look out for each time they come online. So that explains that slide. So next slide here, major subdivisions. So here we'll be quick, we'll talk briefly about the subdivisions of content. Now, we have one article. Article is a descriptive piece of text used by companies and organizations to enlighten users on a particular topic. It is highly informative and detailed in nature. Now, article is like the broadest, most comprehensive form of content, basically. So when you want to talk about so many things, articles could also include the journals, magazines, and all of those. Quite contains quite a lot, basically. Then next is blog. A blog is a personal journal that is maintained by an individual or an organization and needs to be uploaded as and when required. Blogs indulge in an interactive tone with its readers. So I move on quickly. The next is press release. A press release is a brief news story from an organization's PR manager outlining recent facts, sales figures, profit margins, new services, products, releases, etc., as laid down by the officials. Next is web content. It's a visually descriptive or interactive content which is present on the web pages of every website that highlights the services and amenities provided by a venture. Now, when you talk about web content basically goes beyond just text. We also have video web content. So as we move on, I need us to start thinking about the kinds of content we're talking about. Content is actually broad. Now, when you're trying to create a content, you actually need to know which part of content are you working with, which part of content do you want to leverage on from those ones we've talked about. Okay, then another example or subsector of content is SEO content. That is talking about search engine optimization. That's what SEO basically means. It's a section on its own, a totally different section though, which professionals handle. So SEO contents are those that you create such that you can actually reach a particular demand, like search. So people come online and they want to get something, and then they need a keyword that they are going to be searching for that would lead them to a particular content. So the keywords they actually use is what SEO professionals actually create, and then content for that, basically. So moving on, we have research and report writing. This type of content needs strong research and analytical bent of mind to write. This is talking about a very serious, deliberate, and conscious writing. It's also a part of content, definitely. So that's research and report writing. Then we have another one which is called copywriting. Okay, until now, I used to think copywriting is maybe talking about movies, censors board and all, but copywriting also is actually the act of writing the text for the purpose of advertising or other forms of marketing. The product, which is actually called copy, is the written content that aims to increase brand awareness and ultimately persuade a person or group to take a particular action. That's what copywriting is. Copywriting is actually quite short and straight to the point. The aim of the aim a copyright material seeks to achieve is to increase awareness of the particular brand one is writing about. All right. Then social media content, which is what everybody or almost everybody knows. You know, this is the type of content. This type of content has to be the most compelling, engaging, and viral in nature, used for social media optimization and social media marketing. So all of the gigs you see online, you have a product you just want to buzz about. You write basically. You're writing a social media content for it because of where it's flying. You know, you just want to buzz around, just want to create traffic basically. You know, that's social media content. Please, I hope I'm not too fast. Let me wrap up with this. Then from social media content, we move to business writing. Business writing actually includes sales proposals, basically memos, official emails, manual writing, any form of writing which is used by organizations in B2B or B2C communication. What this basically means is that you're writing a business content. It's actually also another more conscious writing, which is done. You know, it's more official, well researched, and you know, it has a particular aim, which is actually for business. So that's business writing. next, we have what's called landing page. Landing page is the pages on which adverts of your search engine like Google and Bing lands. Yes. So this is also one interesting thing about interesting part of content writing. Now, so you have a mail, a website, or you have a blog which you run, but you need something that would actually attract people more. So the first thing that people get to see on your website, that's actually what the landing page is. The first attack, the first appearance that welcomes your visitor, it's the landing page. So if your content on your landing page isn't really attractive enough, remember the quotes I displayed earlier, you might not actually get your readers or your followers to stick on your page. So having a good content on your landing page, it's very important. Then finally, we have the direct marketing copy, DMC, direct marketing copy. Of course, when you're talking, you're reaching to a particular, a well-defined audience. You're not just going randomly. You have a specific set of audience that you seek to address. That is what direct marketing copy talks about. Okay, so before I move on, can I find out if I've communicated enough thus far? So if you're following, can you drop okay. All right, thank you, Victor. Can I get more comments so I move on? Please drop your comments on the chat page so I read and okay. All right, one more, thank you. Okay. Okay, Victor, I'm coming. Okay, please, just a second. I want to share something. Yeah. Mm, okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I got muted and I couldn't unmute myself.
Okay.
Sorry, you can proceed. I want to be here so I can actually relate the correspondence from the chat room to you while you proceed.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. So let's continue. Sorry, I was trying to go check around. Okay, so are we back on my screen now?
Yes, the screen is up.
Okay, good. So Moving on, we'll be talking about the purpose of engagement. Basically, this should be tagged on purpose of content writing. Why do we actually write content? Now, number one, we write for audience building. You want to build audience. You want to build, okay, they say it's following now. Yeah, so you want to build a strong following. So that's one of the reasons why we write content. Secondly, for audience nurturing. There are a couple of people who read from your content basically, and then they feel, elated. They feel they want to learn, they want to grow, and all of those things. So your content, when it engages people, they get nurtured from what they see or what they hear or what they read from you. The number three is intellectual scrutiny. It helps people to task their minds on a particular issue. Next is monetizing. Of course, a lot of us are always looking for opportunities to actually write content which would make money from. So it's it's really fine. Then finally on this slide is brand visibility. So you have a brand you want to expose, you want to bring to the limelight, so to say. So you write engaging content for brands for that. All right, then we'll move to basic content creation process. Now, before we jump into content making, it's important for us to understand the process. How do we go from A to B? So number one is the pre-creation stage. What I call the pre-creation stage. It is the point whereby you take your time to actually come up or generate your idea. What exactly do you want to write about? Of course, assuming you already know or you have a brand that you want to work or you want to write about. So now let's take, for instance, you have a brand, maybe Fanta, for example. Now, you want to build the content for it. First thing you have to do is to now go back and you have to, of course, generate an idea. What will be the concept you want to write or you want to use in communicating your idea, which is actually going to look different or which will be different from others. Number two is irresistible topic and leading selection stage. Yeah. So your title, you have to look out for the topic which is going to actually be irresistible, that is going to keep your readers attached. It's funny how we see stuff and then we won't want to take our eyes off it the second time. So the topic, the catchment, also very important. Then number three is the creation stage. I move to now building your content. Okay, what do I want to write about? What's the first line? What's the second line? What's the sentence I want to build on? How am I going to build? So you start your creation. Then finally is the post-creation stage. Of course, after you've created and you have shared your content, you now look out for the post-creation stage, which is where you get feedbacks basically from what you've done. Now, there's something people used to say that there's actually no knowledge that is lost, right? So no idea is also a waste. Every idea is actually something that can be built on, that can be nurtured. So in creating a content, every idea counts. You don't discard any idea you have. Yeah, so it's buildable. So very important for us to follow that process so that for us to have a very good feedback in the end, because that's more like the ultimate purpose why we're even doing content though. All right, so now here we are trying to prepare our content, but then we need to know make a checklist of what we stand to achieve from our content. Number one, now I have a content. Is this content I want to work on? Is it attractive? You ask yourself that. Number two, does it inform? Three, does it educate? 4, does it enlighten? 5, does it entertain? Now, apparently, there are times whereby you're actually doing a content to educate. Basically, you don't intend to entertain, as it were, but all you just want to do is to educate people. So that is like a totally different content which stands alone. But all in all, at the end of the day, there has to be an element of any or the combination of all of these things in the end when doing your content. So you have to check attractive, if it's attractive, if it's informed, if it educates, if it enlightens, and if it entertains. Good. All right. How do we actually generate ideas now? We talked about the creation stage, the creation process of content writing. Now, here I have some simple and direct ways of which you, as a content writer, can actually come up with your ideas. One is popular interviews. All right, so while this is on, please, I expect for every one of us to pick an item or pick I expect for us to pick an item in our mind, something we would like to work on, and then use all of this process we're discussing about to actually work on them. Okay, now, one of the ways, or the first simple way for generating an idea, is by popular interviews. You might actually have some random people you would want to talk with, or people you want to ask question about, like want to find out what they think about a particular thing. So from popular interviews, you can actually come up with a cue. You can have a cue to what you can write about. Number 2 is question and answers. Okay. 3 is reaction posts. Somebody makes a post, and then you see the way someone comes for or against that post. You can actually form a concept or an idea from that. Then 4, tutorials or how to. Yeah. So in case you're stopped, you really need to develop your skills or something. The need to consult tutorials, materials, maybe check on YouTube for the particular product or concept you want, and how to tweak around it. Then finally, here is frequently asked questions. Okay, so please, if there's any questions, we're going to take it after this session. So moving on, more ways to generate ideas. We have constant training. You keep training yourself. Now, there is no end to what we can learn. Like I said earlier, no idea is a waste. So every idea is needed. Okay, good. So every idea is important. Every idea you have is important. So you train yourself. If you make a first draft, okay, talking about drafts, I know you make a first draft, you develop, check again, and keep checking again. So constant training, very important. Then this next here is confluence of thoughts. You can have several people having an idea or an opinion about a particular figure, a particular brand. So when you mix all these thoughts, all these ideas together, you can actually be able to come up with your own idea that would stand out. Then researching trending issues. Okay, now on this, I would like for somebody or people, every one of us here, can we drop any currently trending issue? I need you to post on the chat link for one, if it's a word or a phrase, whatever you know that is trending, or the currently trending hashtags, which you can just quickly do that while you're listening to this. All right. Thank you. I'll go back and check. So that's that. Then finally on this is what most people call the bathroom therapy. Yes. You might want to ask me what the bathroom therapy is. Okay, so bathroom therapy is actually that funny idea, that funny thing, gift, inspiration that comes to your mind when you are in the bathroom. Actually, not limited to bathrooms though, but the place, your most relaxed mood, where you're just there, nothing's happening, and then an idea just pops up to your mind. You know, that's idea, that that place, that position you are at that point in time is also a very good way for you to come up with ideas, generate ideas and all. Okay. Okay. Matters arising. I'm back to the charts to see what we've dropped so far.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Sure, ma. Good. Now the matter with the settle soon is nice. Coronavirus, matters
That's the
arising.
current
Okay.
trending hashtag now. No matter with this.
Yeah, matters arising. Yeah. Okay. Blacks killing in the United States. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Kaduna killings. All right, good. So now all of this, actually, I can see a the social part of it is actually the matters arising part here, and then the political content there is talking about the okay, no, COVID-19 is not political. Okay, it's more of social, right? Medical. Okay. All right. Then the matter, the killings, Kaduna killings and all trending. So ideas, you've just seen how to actually work with ideas now, trending issues, right? So all of those things, those issues that are trending, you can actually sit and build up a concept around that. So I was talking about the bathroom therapy. Now, what is actually called the bathroom therapy is, okay, I'd explained that already. Yeah. Okay.
Please, you can,
So
Mr. Sherry, sorry to cut you in. Please, you can recap on bathroom therapy so everyone catch up because I think it was at the same time that they were trying to
okay,
send.
that they were doing the, yeah,
Yes.
okay, nice. Okay, thank you. So let me do that again very quickly. I was trying to say that the bathroom therapy, um, it's one popular thing that we usually do. You know, when you are in your relaxed mood, more, most especially when you're taking your showers and all, and then a random idea pops in your mind, you know, it comes easily when you're in the bathroom. Maybe that's right. It's called bathroom therapy. The official name of that actually is called the default mode network. The default mode network. That's DMN. So I just most people actually call it the bathroom therapy. No. So it was actually researched. Don't let me bore you with all the stories. But the default mode network is actually a very good way for you to actually come up with ideas and develop them. Okay. So I move very quickly to the content creation team. Now, um, officially or ideally, using the standard of content writing or content management, there's actually a team that is usually put up for content writing, as it were. So there's a team which does content creation. So here we go. We have the content strategist. The content strategist, actually, this person is actually the, like the, should I say, the brain box. Okay. That's like the brain box, the brain behind the content, as it were. So you have something you want to work on, and there's a need for someone to come up with the entire process. Okay. Okay. So I was talking about content strategies. I'm sorry for the quietness. So content strategies is the brain, is like the one, the overall boss. Let's put it that way. He is the team leader. He is the one that ensures the overall success of the project, basically, from the start to finish. Then secondly, we have the content analyst. The content analyst actually is the one that I here in my rough note, I mentioned that he is the one responsible for connecting the dots between the content produced and the goal it is supposed to achieve. So even before putting out the content analyst already have an idea of, okay, now this is what we want to do, this is the goal we intend to achieve, and he has already prepared or have the overall idea also in his mind. Then moving to the project manager, the content manager is the one that actually sets the timeline, the milestone that that the content or the project intends to achieve, and also have the timelines for achieving them. Then moving on, we have content researcher. Definitely someone who goes out to make findings, you know, as regards the idea, the project or the brand we are writing on. Okay, at this point, can I say that here in Nigeria, for those who are in Nigeria here, you would understand that all of these things, and okay, I'm just in the fourth point. The 9 points here is actually usually done by one person, you know. Somebody, the same person is the one that will do research. The same person is the one that would actually set timelines for himself. It's the same person that would, you know, analyze everything. But in the ideal world, you know, in the advanced words, these jobs are actually splitted. Okay. So content researcher, then we now move to the one we are actually familiar with, or the ones that we are interested in. That is the content writer in itself. So who is a content writer? A content writer is the person charged with composing articles or writing scripts for media. Now, this is like the bulk of the work. Every other part is just every other party or individual playing in the team is should I say minor, but the content writer is the one who sits and comes up with the idea and then eventually puts together the words which will be eventually put out in media or on media. That's who a content writer is. Most times content writers are researchers, though it's still fine, it's still allowed. Okay, then I need to run now. We have content editor. Of course, when the writer completes writing, he passes on to the editor to chop and screw what has been written. Then move to content creatives. Now, the content creatives are those who put in all the content that actually be prepared. The content creatives are those that convert those contents to media, basically, to graphics. So it depends on what part of the creative. Maybe you're using designers, graphic designers, or videographers. You want to shoot a video, you have a content, an idea for your music video, for your movie or something. So the content creatives are those ones who, you know, takes your idea and proceed to making it ready to be visible, so to say. Then the next is content talents. Content talents, of course, are those actors, actresses, voiceover artists, all those people that actually interpret the content now, that acts out the content, basically. So why the creative, they are not visible, basically, they are not people you see. Who you see are the content talents. They are the ones that actually interpret your idea to something that everyone sees. Okay, at this point, I'm supposed to play a video now, but I don't. Okay, let me quickly do the video. Please pardon my screen. No. Okay. I know most people should be familiar with this video. Playing. Can we play?
Okay. Yeah, this is Saka's video. Yeah, I think the audio isn't playing. Um, yeah.
Okay, let's cut it there. Please, was my screen, did you see the video?
Yeah, we watched the video, but we couldn't hear the audio from the video. But
Oh, okay.
we saw the video.
Wow. All right, I'm sorry about that. Okay, maybe because I'm the one playing, that's why I can hear it.
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So I want to believe I was going to ask, do we have people who can relate with that video? Okay, you can just drop your idea about that video while the class is going on, please. So I actually use the video to I want to use it to explain the content creatives and the content talents. Now we see the talents there. Those are the people who act out the content. Now the person who actually came up with, okay, now this idea of porting and all, what kind of concepts can they use to communicate that idea? You know, I actually learned that the person who developed that content, that idea, is still even gaining money, still earning money from MTN even until now, you know, because of the wonderful concept the person came up with. So the content, okay, moving on, content publisher. Content publisher is the last man in the team, and that is the person who eventually puts out everything that has been discussed earlier. You know, we see the process of content creation, ideally, depending on what media or the medium you would use to communicate your content. So at the end of everything, it gets published by the content publisher, which of course is still we ourselves, you know. Okay, so now I would like to emphasize very quickly that you don't mess with any of these guys. That is, if you actually have a team of content creators, yeah. So every guy on this team is very important. But if you are the one doing everything, well, quite good. Okay. So imagine you have a wrong talent to communicate your content. How is it going to look like? Or the graphic designer, your content creative wants to, you know, misarrange your content, your idea. You can imagine. All right. So moving on, we are on skills. Yeah, skills for content writers. Let me quickly check charts if there is anything that okay, good. Thank you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel dropped the link to that video. So we can always actually check the video so that okay, thanks. All right, so back to the slide. We are on skills for content writers. Now, this is also very, very, very important. Remember, we're talking about okay, so remember the topic is actually basics for aspiring content creators. So one of the basics we need to know is also the skills. What skills are you expected to have for you to become a content writer? Now, number one is adaptability. Very important for a content writer to be able to adapt to whatever, whatever projects you are writing on. That's actually what makes you unique, or what makes you multi-talented, as it were. Okay, so your adaptability skills is very important. The next is strong research skills. Like I said earlier, eventually you as the content writer happens to be the alpha and omega of all the process in this case, except if you are well enough to employ several people to do other works for you. But you being the content researcher, of course, you know that you have to have a very strong research skills. Even if you're not a content researcher, you should also add that to your skills, because if someone does research for you and sends it to you, you should also be able to reconfirm, you know, and argument for what you received or what the researcher sent to you. Then next is organizational skills. Organizational skills. It's very important because you would need to, it will help you in time management. Let me just relate organizational skills and time management together. If you're good at organizing yourself, your calendar, your timing, your deadlines, you know what you have to do. Very important. Um, you are actually on your way to becoming a good content writer. Then a good understanding of SEO. Like I said earlier, what are those words? What are those trending words that people are looking out for? You know, very important for you to have that understanding and know how to use them. Of course, we use the hashtags and all, but then beyond using hashtags and all, what are those words that people are looking for as it relates to your brand or the brand that you're writing for? Very important. Then um, uh, communication. Very as a content writer, you need to write whatever you're writing. You should know that I usually tell people that fine, we are not 100% perfect, yeah, but it's important for us to always check and recheck again for everything that you write. Everything you write. Okay, this is content writing, yeah. It's not content speaking. So I was going to say that you can pardon me for if I mess up the English, but when it's in written form, it's important for it to be read and reread if there's anything like that. So that helps in communicating. You don't write like you are writing to yourself. You write and you imagine the person receiving, so be able to that the person understands what you are writing. There's a slide towards the edge that talks about that though. Okay, let's run. And we have focus, of course. You have to be very well focused as a writer. You know what you want to do and you are targeted at doing it right. Then finally is editing. Ability to be able to read and correct and edit. So talking about editing, I used to tell people that when you're writing, you write 3 times. Okay, you have the first draft, which is the rough, natural idea that just comes as it comes. This could be actually more, plenty. But when you edit your first draft, you see what you come up with, edit your second draft again, and eventually you should be able to come up with that which your clients are expecting, looking out for. Okay, so yes. So I think I've spoken quite a lot. The class is okay. All right. So at this juncture, I am wrapping up. So I need us to see this. Now, I explained earlier about the importance of communication. Very, very important. Now here I have a box. The first box here is actually a tip for content creators. It says pay attention to the medium. Now, what is the medium? The medium is actually the channel through which you're passing your message, right? So you pay attention, what kind of medium do you intend to actually pass your message? Do you actually intend to pass your idea? Now, like I said, a lot of people are messing up the opportunities that WhatsApp status gives. That's like the basic one I can relate. I think that most of us can easily relate with, So people actually use the medium of WhatsApp status to communicate, right? So you have to pay attention to the medium and the appropriateness of the message to be passed via that medium. The message you want to pass, is it appropriate through the medium you're passing it, you're going through? Now, you want to do a direct marketing and you are going on, let me see, you are going on, okay, blogs. A lot of people actually find it a bit difficult to check on blogs, depending on their how they feel, though. I mean, the level of inclination they have to blogs and that part of media. But I know that many people actually send messages through WhatsApp. Now, a quick one, talking about WhatsApp status, I know a lot of people that you want to advertise your brand, right? And you have to post your content, please. The idea of people posting up to 15 content, 20 contents talking about the same product or the same, like, I know this is most probably common with those people who do importation. You're selling clothes, you're selling shoes, and you are posting all the shoes you have, all the pictures you have. At the end of the day, you'll be messing up that medium and people would not be able to relate with you anymore through that channel. So it's important for you as content creator to know how to how to, what's the word now? How to cut down or how to use the medium you are using, your WhatsApp status. And then the second box here actually is someone's idea. A person says, I used to think communication was the key until I realized comprehension is, right? It's one thing for you to actually communicate. You feel you've communicated, but the person you're communicating with actually doesn't understand. So understanding is even the principal thing in this case, not just communication. You can communicate, but you need to get your people to understand what you're actually communicating about. All right. Okay. So are we together?
Yes, we are together.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I'm at the point whereby I'm going to be showing some stuff. Okay, thank you, Moses. I'm at the point where I'm going to be showing us some stuff, and I want us to actually judge critically, look through it, and tell us what we think about it. Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. Bring it on.
All right, now, this first slide, I need us to look at it critically. This is was actually done by a friend, one of us here, and one of the partners, I believe. Okay, so this is an advert, a content which was built for or by noble relators. Of course, we know what the Duque Challenge is or what it had been all the way. Okay, so this says, doing a Duque Challenge in your new home won't be such a bad idea. So let's help you sack your landlord. No, blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing advert for the guy, I beg. Okay, so concentration is that's what you see. I need us to respond yay or nay. Please drop your response on the comments on the chat box right away. So
We have received 2 years now.
okay.
3 now, 3 years. Okay, one person has replied nay. The person didn't agree with the advert for the ads.
Okay.
We have 3 nays now. Oh, we have five nays. I think the year is still leading. The years.
Okay.
Yeah, we have more of the year now. Okay, we
All
have
right.
number U.
Okay. I need to wrap up on this very
All right,
quickly.
you
Okay,
can
so
proceed.
I hope that when after this, by the time the microphones are open for everyone, I mean, when everybody gets on, you'll be able to actually voice out reasons, why you are saying yeah. Okay, please, Victor, help me pick, um, just help me go about picking on who's going to talk about the yeah, and why yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay.
All right. Thank you very much. So you release their microphone at when the time is right for them to say why. All right. So that's for this slide. Now, next slide here is something I actually wish for us to practice on. Okay. Before we do this, now let me quickly share this. There's something about something in script writing, yes. In script writing or storytelling, there's what we call the log line. Log line, Logline, log line. Now, a log line is usually made of, comprised of 29 max, 29 words. Of course, less than 30 words content, which summarizes the entire movie or the entire story you're talking about. Okay, so that's what a log line is. Now, as a content writer, having the idea of writing in log lines would also help you to streamline all of your ideas and putting them in one, in less than 30 words. Okay, so moving on, this is something I actually did. I actually did this for someone. Okay, so which I also intend for us to try out. Well, should I say this? Okay, this is not also an advert, but it's just for us to practice on. I need us to see this picture or this short concept, and then write like a very short content for this advert. If we can do less than 200 words, it would be nice. Okay, I think I'm giving us too much activity to do, right? But I guess we should be able to run around them. Okay, I want to suggest that we take this like
Take a
should I say
screenshot. You should take a screenshot of it
yeah, yes, if
so
you
that you
can
can.
please take a screenshot of this, and
Everyone,
in
you can
your
take a
spare time.
screenshot and okay, and follow
Yeah,
up with the
so
exercise.
yes, so this might not come in today, of course. The guys have gotten their content, so it's not like I am I'm doing a free content for them or something. I'm using you guys, but it's just for us to actually practice on, because as I am aware that most of us are quite young and all, so we should be able to relate with this. Okay, so let's just try our hands around this. Are we good?
Yes, we are. Okay, if you've taken the screenshot, please confirm in the chat room so that we can proceed to the next slide.
Okay.
If you have taken the screenshot, please confirm. Okay, proceed. Okay. Okay, good. I
Okay.
think there, yes.
All right.
You can proceed now.
So okay. Okay. So I think the response to this can come in maybe tomorrow, Victor.
Yes, we can do that tomorrow. Ask
Yeah.
them and follow their
Okay. Yeah.
responses
So it's
tomorrow.
going to be like an assignment or something. Guys should just walk around that and come with it tomorrow. There are actually 3 exercises I have here. This is just the first. Okay. But the others are going to be very short and brief. Okay. So having done that, then we move to 2 and 3. Good. So here we have 2 expressions here. Okay. So the remember, we're actually talking content creation, right? So the other task here is for us to, please, you can screenshot this to also. Then the task here is, I need us to tell us, and I think we can actually do this when okay, I'm thinking if we can do this also like during the interactive section. Okay, so we have two expressions basically. We have the one on exercise 2 and the one on exercise 3. So assuming you are to actually use these expressions to relate with a product or with a concept, an idea, a business, what would it be? And how would you, in a log line, just sell these two guys? Yeah, that's the task. I need you to sell these two guys in less than 30 words. Just write something very short and precise, less than 30 words. The first exercise, you can go as much as 100, as much as you can. But for this ones, I just want us to see a precise, straight to the point. It could be a payoff line. This guy, each of these guys. Good. All right, so I think we're done with that. Okay, now in conclusion, I'll just quickly do a recap of all I have said so far, and then I close the session for those who probably just joined and all. So I spoke about, I defined content writing actually. I talked about content and writing in itself. We said earlier that content is all information and experiences that are directed towards an end user or audience, and writing is the process of using symbols and signs actually to communicate thoughts. Then content writing aims to provide a speech. Content writing is actually that voice that people see when they see when you're doing a business or an idea or you have a concept. What you write is actually what speaks to the client. Then we also talked about the major subdivision of contents. I said we have contents in form of articles, we have content in form of blogs, we have content in form of press release, we have content in form of web content, we have content in form of SEO, we have the search engine optimization, right? Then we have content in form of report writing or research. We have content in form of copywriting. We have content which are social media specific, social media content. We have business writing, business content. We have the landing page, content you write solely for landing pages for a business and all. Then we have direct marketing copy. Yes, so those are the subdivisions we have for content. And then I talked about purpose of engagement. Why do you engage? Or why do you write content? Said audience building, audience nurturing, intellectual scrutiny, and monetizing, and then brand visibility. Okay, and I said also that your content has to be attractive, it has to inform, it has to educate, it has to enlighten, it has to be enlightening, it also has to be entertaining. Then we talked about how to generate ideas through popular interviews, question and answers, reaction to posts, tutorials, frequently asked questions, constant training, confluence of thoughts, researching trending issues, and the default mode, which is actually what I tag bedroom therapy. Then talked about the content creation team, skills for content writers, tips for aspiring content creators, which are those pictures, the codes that I placed, and then we took, I gave us some exercise to play around with, and that will be all. That's all for the class. Now, let me leave us with this summary. So we have, as a content writer, you need to know how to create. The process is creation, sharing, and tracking, and then you do the circle again. I didn't put that here, but then just know that you create. After you create, you share to people, and then you track the post or the content that has been created. Thank you very much. That will be all for now from me.
Wow, that's a very wonderful session, Mr. Shu. Thank you very much. That was very impactful. Personally, I've also learned a lot. My notebook is almost full. Thank you very much. So I think
Yes, thank
now
you.
we
Thank
can
you very
take
much.
questions, right? So as
Yes,
to be
yes, we
able to
can.
rush into the next session quickly, or we'll
Yes.
just do a match of both together, the interactive section and question and answer.
Okay, sorry, please. I'm seeing, okay, you've responded. Thank you. I just went back to the chat and I saw someone
Okay.
asking questions. Yeah. Okay.
So you
Someone
also
asking
said,
about the,
okay, you can proceed. I'm listening.
yeah, I saw that someone asked about the second task. So I said the second exercise was I posted two images, two people, two faces there. So yes, you have to write a log line based on those two expressions, something very short and precise that talks about the exercise 2 and exercise 3. Yeah. All right. You can continue, please.
Okay, yes. We have one question in the chat room. I think if you scroll down, you should be able to see it. Someone asked, "What is a log line?" Probably the person didn't catch it when you talked about it earlier.
Okay. All right. What is a log line? Now, a log line, I said, is the summary of all your ideas. Okay, usually log lines are used in storytelling, script writing, basically, for movies. Okay, so you want to write a film or you want to tell a story. Your story, the entirety of your story, written in less than 30 words, is what a log line is. So you have a picture, you have something, an idea, or an image that pops up to your mind. How you can summarize all the ideas that comes through your mind about that image in less than 30 words is what a log line is. And it's one thing that sells very fast. So a very impressive log line would help people to further probe about your business or your brand. What exactly do you do and all of those things? Log lines, payoff lines, whatever. Still kind of, so summary is just less than 30 words of everything you have to say, your ideas and all.
Okay.
Okay, did I answer that?
Yes, perfectly. I'm
Okay.
sure the person must have gotten it. So, okay, let's do a mix of both the interactive section and the Q&A so that it flows together because I think we have about just 30 minutes or less before the end of today's class. So, okay, first of all, let me do a view about the campaign. So, can we
Yes,
take that?
please.
Can we take
Thank
that
you.
now?
Yes,
Okay,
please. Let's
so
let's run that very quickly.
Okay, so very quickly, the first person I selected is Dotun. So Dotun, if you can hear me, I'm going to um, unmute you now. Okay, I think Shay, you are still the host. Maybe you should make me the host so
Okay,
that
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
able to carry out that.
Okay, okay. No problems.
Dotun, I'm going to unmute you now so that you can share your thoughts about the um, Realtors campaign that was shared earlier. Dotun, where are you? Oh, I think, okay, I can see Dr. Orimolade. So I'm going to unmute you now so that you can share your thoughts with us about the um, Brutus campaign that was shared earlier. Okay, I think she's live now. Uh,
Hello.
okay, sorry, Doctor. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Yes, perfectly.
Yes, clearly.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good
Um,
afternoon.
please, I would like you, Shay, to kind of bring back that picture,
Okay,
so it will enhance my explanation on that.
okay.
Are you able to share your screen?
I'm coming. I'm still around it. Yes, I would be able to. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. There we are.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I went with EA. Like I agree with the content. So to my
Okay.
own view, I will say doing a dedicate challenge in your new home won't be such a bad idea. Let's help you sack your landlord. Seeing this content is kind of captivating when you get to that side where you said, let's help you sack your landlord. You understand? That seems like, okay, how can you sack my landlord in his house? That kind of attracting you, like it's kind of attraction, like attracting you to the content. Okay, you want to know what the content is, you want to know what the person is actually trying to pass across, like the information is trying to pass across. That's a bit it's a bit convincing, like, okay, let me see what the person is trying to bring about. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So to my own knowledge, that's how I see the content.
All
So
right.
that's let's help you sack your landlord. It's like a push. It's make you inquisitive, like want to know what the person is trying to talk about.
Okay. Okay,
That's
cool.
to my own knowledge.
Thank you, Dotun. Let me quickly also say that this is not to like hype or bring down a brand, right? So everybody have their own ideas. And it would also help you as a content writer to see what interesting thing you can actually bring into what you are writing about or the story you're telling. Okay, so thank you, Dotun, for your feedback today. Victor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, great. So the next person, very quickly, Emmanuel Nwafo, sorry if I didn't call that correctly. So I'm going to unmute you now, Emmanuel, so you can share your thoughts with us about the campaign. Okay, I think Emmanuel, I think you're live now.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
we're with you, Emmanuel.
we can hear you,
Okay, please
Emmanuel.
come again. Let me hear you very well. Can you?
So
Hello?
earlier on, yes, we can hear you, Emmanuel. Earlier on, when the campaign was shared, I think you you went with Ye, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay, great. So would you want to share your thoughts on why you selected that option?
Okay, why I selected that option is because it's something that triggers one's curiosity. Okay? You're seeing a pregnant woman and you are equally saying sack your landlord. For something, one will want to know what is it all about. Even seeing the picture alone, you want to go in to know what it's all about. It triggers one's curiosity. So going detail to find out that yes, it's all about having your kind of your accommodation and all that. It has passed the message. That's why I went for yeah.
All right. Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Hello?
Yeah, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you very much for
Okay.
sharing. Yes. Okay, let's just take one more. Then let's take one more. That's from Maria. I'm going to unlock Maria now. Okay.
I hope we still have that slide on our screens, right? Just in case we want to refer.
Yes,
I'm
it's still
leaving
up on the
the screen
screen.
on. Okay, good.
Still up on the screen. Okay, I think Maria, you're unmuted now. You should be able to share with us.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Hi.
Maria. Welcome.
Okay, first I want to appreciate you for coming up with something like this. And for the advert, I'm going with the year because for me to say, for you to come up to say that doing a difficult challenge in your new home won't be such a bad idea. We've seen we all know how the difficult challenge is, and I would really want to have something like this in my own home and not in another person's home. And I think another thing is for the advert, one of the things that must compel you to want to reach out to a company or to an advertiser is that it must be catchy. It must be something that attracts you to want to take the next step. So the let's help you sack your landlord too is another thing that, like the past two persons have said, triggers you to want to take that step. You really want to know what exactly they are after. So thank you. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay, okay, great. So that means you're going with a year, right? With a year.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, great. So I think let's pick a name so that I can also tell. Okay, let me read this. I can also tell all that. So let us pick a name, and for that we're going to pick Okola or Emmanuel. Let us pick. Let's hear from him why he's going for name. Okola or Emmanuel. Okay, you're alive now.
Hello guys.
Hi.
Okay. So I'll go for Nay because looking at the content and looking at the call to action and the images and the image. Number one, the words is too much. Number, the picture. I'm seeing a pregnant woman, which is not related to what we're trying to say. And I think the reason why we're going for yay is because we're discussing about this now.
I'm not sure I understand.
No, not sorry. So it's because we're discussing about this now. So on a normal day, this is an advert. And when you see advert like this, it's on maybe on your device, on your mobile phone, or definitely you're browsing the internet. At that moment, you're browsing, you're actually in the middle of an activity, which is what? Browsing the internet. You are doing something. You are not on the internet to check for advert. You understand? You are not on that internet advert to come to your screen. You're already in motion. You're checking the internet. So something like this comes. You have a split seconds to pass your message as fast as possible. This is actually is confusing. Even the design. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's a no for me. Like a no. It's, in fact, I can guarantee that. Imagine everybody here should just imagine that you see this on Instagram or Facebook. Please be sincere with yourself. Are you going to open this link? Will you even notice this post? You won't.
Okay, very quickly, Emmanuel. Sorry, yes, very quickly, Emmanuel. You've not stated the reason why you selected name. What is the particular reason why you went with name?
I just mentioned a lot right now. I said number one, it's we are saying two different things at the same time. It's contradicting the design. Yeah, I mentioned a lot already, right?
Yeah. You said the content. You talked about the content. You said it's quite bulky. You also talked about the. I think your idea about the design is talking about the. If I understand you correctly, I think you're talking about the font and the text usage. Right?
Yeah, and also visual hierarchy. I can, like looking at this text, which one is more important? Important. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Okay, now let me quickly come in. Okay. Are you? I think you've passed your you've made your point, sir. Right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I've made my point.
Okay, thank you very much. I understand. I actually picked out everything you said, and it's us now. The purpose of doing this is actually to get feedbacks. I wasn't going to okay, Victor, permit me. I'm
Yes.
taking the
No, you
spot
can
of
you
you.
can proceed.
All right, thank you. Let me so very quickly. I skipped or I deliberately pulled off some information due to time and other stuff. Now, what Okonlawon, sorry, what he was trying to actually talk about is something you would learn or you get to understand more when we're talking about copywriting. Copywriting is actually a branch, of course, you saw in the earlier slides I put up, it's a subgroup of content writing. Now, this is like an example of copywriting. Now, we, of course, apart from having a long text copywriting, this on its own, for me, I can say, okay, it's like a copywriting because you are selling a brand and you are not after, okay, what's the long details and all. Just now, there are 4 things that is required in a copyright material. I'll just mention them very quickly. The first thing in a copyright material is the heading, of course. You have the heading, then you have the hook. Now, the hook in this project is supposed to be that part that talks about doing a digital challenge in your new home won't be a bad idea. That's something like, in my opinion, is supposed to like bring you into seeing the post. Yeah. Okay. Then the content. The content is let's help you sack your landlord. So the first I talked about is the heading, the second the hook, the third is the content, and then the fourth is the call to action. Now, the call to action here is supposed to be let's help you sack your landlord. So now I viewing this want to know, okay, how do you want to do it? And then the number is there. Now, Okonlawa was talking about the font. Now, this is why I said earlier, if you followed me, why I said that there's the creative content creation team. And when you have, there's a team, the place of the content, the content creative, that's the people that actually interpret your ideas to graphics. And I think Okonlawa must be someone who knows about graphics
Yeah,
very,
I want to agree with
very
that
well.
too. Yeah.
Yes, because in graphics making, there's well, I really don't know much, but I understand where it's coming from. There is supposed to be the main text, then the subtext, and all of those things. But in this case, we have all text seemingly equal, so we don't know which is actually the one calling you, basically. So fine. Then Okonlawa talked about the image used. Okay, well, the point here is the Duduke challenge, as it were, not the house or the getting a house. So yeah, that is taking Okonlawa. Thank you very much. Personally, I get your take about. Okay, well, are we taking another news? Sorry.
Okay. Look, because of our time, I think we have just less about 10 minutes more to go, and I want to be sure that I'm not skipping any of our activities for today. Okay, I think we're supposed to take some feedbacks. Want to hear from you, from everyone. What has your challenges been so far regards
So
content
right.
writing as a writer? Yes. What have you? What are like the major challenges so that we can get to hear from you and also share thoughts with you about as regards that. So in the comments in the chat room, kindly indicate if you want to hear if you want to what you call air live what your challenges has been as a writer. Let us know so that we can unmute you or if you want to type it in the comment section so that we can read it out also.
Yes, sorry. Talking about that, I saw someone, Michael Oluwaseyi said something about the log line. He was complaining that it's, see he or she now, actually complaining that it's log line seems cumbersome for, I mean, so those who, uh, sorry, log line seems cumbersome to do for someone like me, that's him, who is a first timer and intending to be a content writer. Okay. So, um, okay, it's actually like doing a summary, yeah. So you're even saying that, okay, summary is quite tough, is it? Well, that is also another reason why you shouldn't have another idea. The idea of doing a log line is actually to help you not to have too much dreams, you know. You don't have too many things popping on your head, you know, calling you. Just try as much as possible to cut off everything that you want to say and put it in a log line. That's actually the task, yeah? So just take it easy, Michael. When you're writing your log line, just have it in mind. And of course, if you have all the old text stuff in a very long format, when you read and you read and you reread again, you should be able to put all these things. Okay, okay. I don't know if I can share some log lines here, but then it's when you read and you reread, you try to ensure that, for example, you just want to meet. Why am I liking Fanta now? Okay, so you want to use do a log line for Fanta, maybe quench your thirst or something, and you say quench, you know, quench your thirst. Now, the entire idea, of course, you want to add some stuff to it, you know, but the point is that okay, you want to sell a chilled Fanta for someone who is thirsty. Now, how would you actually say that in a very straightforward manner, you know, very short and precise, such that the person won't need to have to read a lot or listen too much before he understands what you're trying to say. All right, so that's what the log line idea is about.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Mr. Sharing. Great. Yes, someone was trying to indicate that you should cite an example of the log line, which I think you just did now. That is trying to sell a particular item in a few words without also like you're creating the need for that particular item without spending too much time in a very short and in less than 30 words.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, Mr. Ashley. Okay, because of our time, we have about 6 minutes more to go. So if you have any question you want to ask, please just type them in the group chat so that we can answer them right away. Or if you want to share with us any of your challenges so far as a writer, you can share with us also on the group chat so that we answer give answers to them right away. Because of our time, we have about 5 minutes to go. So I'm just going to give us 1 minute to take questions. Any questions? Or if you want to share with us what your challenges has been so far as a writer, you can also do that. Okay, Mr. Shea, thank you very much for honoring our invitation and for sharing
Thank
with
you.
us your extensive knowledge on content writing. This class has been very, very powerful and helpful. Personally, I had a lot of things on my note already of things that I didn't have idea about before, even though I implement them. But now at least I know what they are called and what the terms are. Like you mentioned, the default mode network.
Yes.
Personally, I'm one person that all my ideas I get them in the bathroom, but now I know what that is called, and very insightful one there. Thank you very much. Shashi.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Victor. I really appreciate the class. I really, really appreciate everyone for joining. Thank you very much. It's
Thank you.
nice talking. I know there are a lot of professionals in the house, though, but thank you for honoring this class. God bless you.
Yes. So with that being said, rounding up. Okay, tell the class. Okay. with that being said, okay, first of all, please, in the comments session, please everyone let's thank Mr. Sheyi for this wonderful session. Everyone, please say thank you, Mr. Sheyi, thank you for this wonderful session. Yeah, you can see this in the comment section now. I've learned
Yes,
a
I really
lot, giving out certification. So if you are interested, you can just send us a message, send the admin message on the WhatsApp group, send us a message that you are interested and want to get the certificate of attendance. It will be given to you at the end of this program, which is tomorrow. This program continues tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have two speakers speak to us on how you can get started as a content writer and the career opportunities and benefits. We're also going to learn tomorrow how you can get to develop compelling content, brand-specific content in order to promote or to market a brand. So I also want to recap again on it's been wonderful. It's been a very powerful session so far. I really appreciate Mr. Shea. Thank you for honoring our invitation, and thank you for sharing with us your experience and knowledge in this in creative writing field. We really appreciate it. Okay. All right. So the class comment will continue tomorrow, and same time, 3 p.m. But I want to beg of you that we are going to have a little bit extension tomorrow. We might go beyond 5 p.m. So I want us to be aware now because there are a lot of things we will have to cover, and the time, as we can see, is quite short. So please just prepare your mind ahead that tomorrow we might extend beyond 5 p.m. and we have a lot in stock for you guys tomorrow. Just come prepared and come expectant to learn and become a better content creator. And also tomorrow we're going to be sharing with you a platform which we have created specifically for writers. And because you're a part of this training, tomorrow we're going to give out that platform at a very big discount. So just come expectant to get a lot of information and to learn a lot tomorrow during the class. Join us tomorrow again, 3 p.m. You can still share the words with your friends, share the flyer with them, let them join us tomorrow. Let them know making it up here in this live conference. It's been a pleasure to have every one of you here. Thank you very much even to our speaker, Mr. Adeshina, for sharing with us. Thank you everyone for spending your time with us on this platform. It's been great having you guys. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for also following up and participating in all the discussions and in the forum also.